graduate commencement ceremony. I'm Rodney Bennett, President of the University of Southern Mississippi. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by our Army ROTC Color Guard and for the performance of our national anthem led by Ms. Danielle Roseanne Watson. Thank you. You may be seated. Commencements at the University of Southern Mississippi are wonderful occasions as we acknowledge the achievements of our students and recognize the contributions that family, friends, and our USM faculty and staff have made to their education. For those of you who are able to join us in person, thank you for being here. And for those of you who are viewing the ceremony online, thank you for being a part of this very special occasion for our graduates. I would like to extend special thanks to each individual who has supported our graduates for entrusting the education of your loved ones to the University of Southern Mississippi. It has been our privilege to have assisted them in getting to this very important day. I would now like to take a moment to thank our faculty and staff for their hard work to support the success of our students. And also, I will pause here so that our graduating class might express their deep appreciation for the contributions that our faculty and staff have made to their education, with a nice round of applause. Thank you so much. Military service to our country is among the highest forms of patriotism and selflessness. I now invite all graduating students and guests who are veterans, active military or reservists, or newly commissioned officers to please stand if you are able to do so. On behalf of the University of Southern Mississippi, we thank each of you for your service, past, present, and future. I would now like to introduce members of the platform party who will not be presented later in the ceremony. I'd like to ask that each person stand and remain standing, and if the audience would please hold your applause until each individual has been recognized. I'll begin here to my right, Ms. Margot Buisson, who is providing sign interpretation for the ceremony. Dr. Sabine Heinhorst, the interim dean of our Honors College, who is assisting our Grand Marshal this evening. Dr. Frederick Green, our commencement Grand Marshal. Mr. Bob Golson, General Counsel. Mr. Jeremy McLean, Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. Dr. Gordon Cannon, Vice President for Research. Ms. Allison Easterwood, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Dr. Jacob Breland, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Coastal Operations. Mr. Chad Driscoll, Vice President for External Affairs. Ms. Luann Knight Crenshaw, President of the Graduate Student Senate. Ms. Ashley Lankford, President of the Student Government Association. Dr. Dee Dee Anderson, Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. John I, Dean of University Libraries. Ms. Anna Jo Berry Barrett, Immediate Past President of Staff Council. Dr. Brian LaPierre, President of Faculty Senate. And our ceremonial readers for this evening, Dr. Catherine Anthony and Dr. Colin McKenzie. Please help me in thanking these individuals for being here. Thank you all. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium Mr. Jerry DeFatta, the Executive Director of the Southern Miss Alumni Association. Jerry?
Good evening, graduating students. On behalf of the Southern Miss Alumni Association, congratulations to our returning alumni who have now earned a second or third Southern Miss degree. We are so glad that you chose to continue your education here at your university. And congratulations to our newest alumni. Thank you for choosing Southern Miss as your graduate institution of choice. As graduates of the University of Southern Mississippi, you are all part of an ever-growing group of more than 130,000 proud Southern Miss alumni scattered throughout the world. Because of your new or existing status as alumni, you have a golden opportunity to be part of our Alumni Association. At your convenience, please scan the QR code on the small bottle of hand sanitizer that was left in your seat to access a wide variety of ways that you can connect with Southern Miss as you enter the next phase of your life. I encourage you to join, get engaged, and become or continue to be an active member. Let us know about the important things taking place in your life, and we'll let you know what's going on here at your university. The university community is your family, and each of you can make a significant difference in the future of Southern Miss. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our legacy families, which include graduating students with at least one parent who is a Southern Miss graduate. If our alumni parents and their graduating students will, please stand so that you may be recognized. Thank you. We're delighted to see so many alumni parents among the crowd, and we're even more grateful that your student chose to continue the Southern Miss legacy. Again, congratulations to all of you as graduates of the University of Southern Mississippi. And as we say, Southern Miss, congratulations.
Before we begin the conferral of degrees, I would like to acknowledge that tomorrow morning, the University of Southern Mississippi will honor Mr. Charles C. Sienna, Jr., President and founder of Semtech LP, with a Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. I would encourage you to refer to page 47 in your commencement program to learn more about Mr. Sienna and his exceptional contributions to higher education, public service, business development, and entrepreneurship at the University of Southern Mississippi and in communities across Mississippi, Texas, and beyond. Now let me take just a quick moment, graduates, and share with you what I'd like to ask you to do as you begin to come across the stage. I'd like to ask you to consider using hand sanitizer that was provided at your seat before you come across the stage and once you exit the stage and go back to your seat. In lieu of a handshake, I will be presenting each of you with a special keepsake gift, a commemorative letter opener that you can now see on the screens around the Coliseum. The letter opener has the University of Southern Mississippi embossed on the handle. It is my hope that we bring back the lost art of letter writing, actual letter writing, and not texting, actual letter writing. And this letter opener will be a memento, should serve as a memento of all of the possibilities that are now open to each of you as graduates of the University of Southern Mississippi. At this time, I will ask our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Stephen R. Mosier, to come forward for the conferral of degrees.
Good evening. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Audiology degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Audiology.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation and with the approval of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me as President of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Doctor of Audiology with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Education degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Education.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as President of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Doctor of Education, with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Musical Arts degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Musical Arts.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as President of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Doctor of Musical Arts, with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Philosophy.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts degree please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their dean and faculty. I recommend that you confer upon them the degree Master of Fine Arts.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Southern Mississippi, I confer upon these candidates the degree Master of Fine Arts with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Will all the doctoral and MFA candidates and their major professors please come forward for the hooding and the awarding of diplomas? Dr. Karen Coates, Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, will present each candidate.
Caitlin Elise Aldous, put up by Dr. Charles Marks. Margot Antoine, put up by Dr. Charles Marks. Bryn Meredith Ashmore, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Sarah Burns, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Laura Madison Felsher, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Jessica Hurt Rogers, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Bailey Reese Johnson, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Deanna Rose Thorpe, hooded by Dr. Charles Marks. Ezewanyi Anmuzurua, hooded by Dr. Kimberly Ward. Caroline Elizabeth Rayleigh, hooded by Dr. Kimberly Ward. Latoya Thais Johnson, hooded by Dr. Noel Cochran. Doctoral project title, Teachers' Perspectives about the Practicality and Usefulness of Professional Learning Communities, Steps for Effective Implementation and Furthering Teacher Development. Lisa Davis Sanders, hooded by Dr. Noel Cochran. Doctoral project title, Middle School Students' Academic Preparedness for High School. Jessica Pace Trawick. Ashley Winford, hooded by Dr. Noel Cochran. Doctoral project title, School Counselors and Their Influence on Student Behaviors. Ashton Chatham Yost, hooded by Dr. Noel Cochran. Doctoral project title, Processes to Improve Early Identification and Treatment of Deaf or Hard of Hearing Children. Erica Nicole LaFleur, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, College Athletes, Degree Completion versus Preparation for Professional Athletics. Nicole Christine Letchworth, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, Academic Coaches and Student Success in Higher Education, a Quantitative Study. Kendallin K. Moses, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, Student Course Evaluations, Instructor Effectiveness, and Lessons Learned. Brandy Lachey Piper, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, Exploring Faculty Perceptions on Implicit Bias During the Graduate Admission Review Process. Molly Riley Ratcliffe, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, Faculty Transition, Making the Jump to Academia at an Allied Health School. Brittany Roulet, hooded by Dr. Masha Kresmanovic. Doctoral project title, Faculty Perceptions on Regular and Substantive Interaction in Asynchronous Online Courses. Kelly Eaton Harrington, hooded by Dr. Jason Wallace. Doctoral project title, The Effect on Enrollment at Hines Community College Among Dual Enrollment Secondary Students. Jennifer Whitney Hill Farron, hooded by Dr. Jason Wallace. Doctoral project title, Instituting the Pathways Advising Model at Pensacola State College, a Feasibility Study. Amy Lynn LeBaire, hooded by Dr. Jason Wallace. Doctoral project title, Graduate Clinician Perspective of Feedback Delivery Mode and Frequency in On-Campus Clinical Supervision. Raven Nicole Moore, hooded by Dr. Jason Wallace. Doctoral project titled, First Generation College Students' Experiences at Public Universities. Joseph Allen Price, hooded by Dr. Jason Wallace. Doctoral project title, The Impact of COVID-19 on First Generation and Low Income Higher Education Students. Rachel Catherine Alexander Gibson, hooded by Dr. Jonathan Yarrington. Dissertation title, We Carry Them Forward, A Performer's Guide to Heggie and Shear's Iconic Legacies, First Ladies at the Smithsonian. Eduardo Prada, hooded by Dr. Danilo Mezzaradri. Doctoral project title, Three Etudes for Marimba and Pandeiro, Contemporary Marimba Music as a New Setting for the Brazilian Pandeiro. Hisi Pierre Xavier, hooded by Dr. Ellen Elder. Dissertation title, Brazilian Folk Rhythms in Heitor Villa-Lobos's A Legend de Caboclo, The Legend of a Caboclo and Ciclo Brasileiro, Brazilian Cycle. Dorothy Denise Adams, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, Improve Primary Care Advanced Practice, Nurses' Knowledge of Depression by Educational Interventions and Treatment Recommendations. Rena R. Beal, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, Improve Access to Mental Health Care in COVID-19 Triage Clinics. Susan Blakeney, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, Improving Compliance with Treatments for End-Stage Renal Disease on Hemodialysis. Bianca Bully, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, A Quality Improvement Project, Streamlining the Post-Surgical Process in Total Knee and Hip Replacements with an Evidence-Based Guide and Practice Protocol. Betty Hoffman, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, Full Practice Authority, Determining Readiness Among Nurse Practitioner Students in Mississippi. Ada Kelly, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Coleman. Doctoral project title, The Effect of VMAT2 Inhibitors on Tardive Dyskinesia Symptoms in Patients with Schizophrenia. LaKenya Bonner Fortner, hooded by Dr. Lisa Morgan. Doctoral project title, The Impact of Social Determinants on Health and Hypertension. David Lee Snodgrass, hooded by Dr. Marty Jarden. Doctoral project title, Decreasing Hospital Readmission with Primary Care Clinic Appointment Within 14 Days of Hospital Discharge. Mary Ellen Reeves Stewart, hooded by Dr. Patsy Anderson. Dissertation title, A Case Study in Resiliency, How a University Survived the COVID-19 Pandemic. Deborah G. Tucker, hooded by Dr. Deborah Copeland. Dissertation title, Perceptions of Perinatal Nurses Caring for Perceived Stigmatized Patients During the COVID-19 Pandemic in Perinatal Settings, a Qualitative Study. Bailey Victoria Nettles, hooded by Dr. Bonnie Harbaugh. Dissertation title, The Thoughts and Knowledge of Advanced Directives Among Oncology Nurses. Kristen Lee Reynolds, hooded by Dr. Holly Foster. Dissertation title, The Search for Neutrality, a Discourse Analysis of Language Use in Higher Education, Title IX, Sexual Misconduct Policies. Teresa Ann Duke, hooded by Dr. Kenna Shelley. Dissertation title, Mississippi School Accountability, Instructional Leadership and Data Use, a Formula for Success. Joy Loretta Esters Washington, hooded by Dr. Kenna Shelley. Dissertation title, A Mixed Methods Approach to Exploring Relationships Among Professional Preparation, Professional Development, and the Implementation of Sex Education in Mississippi. Chloe Roberson Wofford, hooded by Dr. Adam Clay. Dissertation title, Fathom the Fast River. Justin C. Greer, hooded by Dr. Kate Cochran. Dissertation title, Historical Trauma, Symbolic Boundaries, and the Deconstruction of Identity in Native Southern Literature. Shane Clinton Hand, hooded by Dr. Andrew Haley. Dissertation title, Curious George's Imperial Adventure, an intellectual biography of a fictional monkey's translation from German into American imperialism. Lucas R. Summers, hooded by Dr. Susanna Ural. Dissertation title, Embattled Learning, Education and Emancipation in the Post-Civil War Upper South. Rita Nasuna, hooded by Dr. Stephen Vanette. Dissertation title, Conflict Management Strategies Among Nurses in Hospitals. Pratiksha Adhikari, hooded by Dr. Hiao Zhu. Dissertation title, Delineating the exocytic fusion machinery required for the release of different mast cell mediators. Anthony R. Benasco, hooded by Dr. Derek Patton. Dissertation title, Receptor-Doped Organic Transistors Transducing Anion Binding from Mixed Ionic Electronic Transport. Harley Renee Walker, hooded by Dr. James Lambers. Dissertation title, A New Model for Predicting Drag and Lift Forces of Turbulent Newtonian Flow on Arbitrarily Shaped Shells on the Seafloor. Hannah Lee Masoner, hooded by Dr. Alan Heinel. Dissertation title, Does Optic Flow Provide Information About Other People's Actions? Nicholas Pruitt Maxwell, hooded by Dr. Mark Huff. Dissertation title, The Influence of Word Pair Associative Direction on Judgment of Learning Reactivity. Cody Lewis Alexander, hooded by Professor Robin Aronson. Project title, A Haunted Heart. Tessa Rianne Anderson, hooded by Professor Robin Aronson. Project title, Alice Murphy, Shine Bright Like a Bright Star. Elizabeth Ann Boykin, hooded by Professor Robin Aronson. Project title, Creating the Character Hedda Gabler, A Woman on the Edge. Kevin Alexander Rains, hooded by Professor Robin Aronson. Project title, Bright Star, Jimmy Ray Dobbs. Jennifer Lee Belcher Glass, hooded by Professor Stephen Judd. Project title, She Kills Monsters, Scenic Design. Aline Machado, hooded by Professor Stephen Judd. Project title, The Scenic Design of Bright Star. Samuel Thomas Buchanan, hooded by Professor Lou Rakoff. Project title, The Bizarre Evolution of Theater, Virtually Directing Describe the Night. And Joanne Shaver, hooded by Professor Lou Rakoff. Project title, Quilting Together a Family, The Journey of Bright Star.
I will now ask the deans to present their candidates for the specialist and master's degrees. Dr. Trenton Gould, Dean of the College of Education and Human Sciences.
Will the candidate for the specialist degree in the College of Education and Human Sciences please rise and remain standing? Provost Mosier, this candidate has been approved for graduation by the faculty in the College of Education and Human Sciences. They are ready to have their degree conferred pending completion of all degree requirements. Candidate, you may be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Education and Human Sciences please rise and remain standing? Provost Mosier, these candidates have been approved for graduation by the faculty in the College of Education and Human Sciences. They are ready to have their degrees conferred pending completion of all degree requirements. Candidates, you may be seated.
Dr. Chris Winstead, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Arts and Sciences please rise and remain standing? Provost Mosier, these candidates have been approved for graduation by the faculty in the College of Arts and Sciences. They are ready to have their degrees conferred pending completion of all degree requirements. Candidates, you may be seated.
Dr. Brett Beckton, Dean of the College of Business and Economic Development.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Business and Economic Development please rise and remain standing? Provost Mosier, these candidates have been approved for graduation by the faculty of the College of Business and Economic Development. They are ready to have their degrees conferred pending completion of all degree requirements. Candidates, you may be seated.
Dr. Lachelle Story, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Professions.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Nursing and Health Professions please rise and remain standing? Provost Mosier, these candidates have been approved for graduation by the faculty in the College of Nursing and Health Professions. They are ready to have their degrees conferred pending completion of all degree requirements. Candidates, you may be seated.
Will all the candidates for the specialist and master's degrees please stand? President Bennett, these candidates have been approved for graduation by their deans and faculty, and I recommend that you confer their degrees.
Provost Mosier, on your recommendation, with the approval of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Southern Mississippi, and pending completion of any remaining degree requirements, I confer upon these candidates their respective specialist and master's degrees with all of the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates.
Will the candidates for the specialist and master's degrees please come forward and receive your diplomas?
The following student will receive the specialist degree from the College of Education and Human Sciences. Megan Waite Gatlin. The following students will receive the master's degree from the College of Arts and Sciences. Nathan Andrew Lewis. Kayla Moyers. Adam Michael Stallings. Narendra Gopi Upalapati. Jaya Sai Gopi Krishna Parachuri. Catherine Joyce Garrettson. Meridian Pinkerton McDaniel. John K. DeLee. James Carey Valentine. Joshua Patrick Wilkinson. Megan Lynn Wilkinson. Aaron M. Cohen. Sarah Catherine Snyder. Emmanuel Woldemariam. Shelby Allen Hush. Sarah Ashley King. Ariel Mercedes Kathleen Nanortis. Sujana Naluri. Sarah Morgan Coffey. Walker Margaret Maddox. Samuel Adam Wyatt. Anthony Wayne Nastasi. Shri Megna Vanam. Juan Daniel Oviedo Reina. Julian Esteban Gajon Quintero. Genesis Aguilar Castillo. Henry Lopez. Austin Ryan Hannon. Jackson P. Kercheval. Benjamin Robert Noss. Caroline L. Rett. Caleb Gilbo. Christy A. Carnahan. Usama Azam. Theodore Robert Gowdy. Chelsea Alexis Harmon. Lauren Elizabeth Lytle. Jasmine Melendez Torres. Dane Wedgeworth. Jessica Leanne Payne. Colin Gregory Cameron. Geraldine Amelia Service. Nathakorn Shrithong. Amy Chambliss Dunaway. Bray Jonquil Smith. Jesslyn Francesca Williams. Jalissa C.E. Young. Savannah Renee Baudet. Blanca Iris Lee. The following students will receive the master's degree from the College of Business and Economic Development. Austin Gregory Moore. Abdul Karim. Ana Ruth Cortez. Bailey Brooke Harris. Fayaz Hussein. Florence Ann Mayo. Sarah Hazel Lejeune. Damian Kelly Duff. Brittany Joy Winrick. Holly Elmore Edwards. Aaron R. Hill. Isaiah Andre Carson. Sammy Ray Ulrich. Tom Wynn. Courtney Dawsey. Hannah Jeanette Buckland. Chase Gregory Cooley. Amanda Debray Grizel. Erin Alyssa Hines. Anthony Joseph Palazzolo. Kyle Anthony Martin. Mallory Lee Ivy. Melanie Brooke Miller. Tabitha Robin Bridges. Yolanda Cervantes Linares. Destiny Ray Chafin. Kelly Jordan Early. Mary Morgan Wyndham. Wyatt Manning Grantham. Alexandra Victoria Barbeau. Kentrell DeAndre Spencer. Bryant Kyle Dumal. Robert Earl Pickett. Juliana Lee Rouse. Mariah Jewel Rouse. Harley Anna Jackson. Tia Deshay Wedgeworth. Kanisha Forrest. Eric E. Richards, Jr. Cullen Patrick Rossier. Chanel Diane Felder. Shalika Ann Hooker. The following students will receive the master's degree from the College of Education and Human Sciences. Jonathan Blake Berry. Anna Grace Sims. Abigail Catherine Mowers. Esther Carolyn Loco. Rachel Catherine Blair. Anna Maria Morgan. Leah Deanne Eisenhower. Philip Jeffrey Snyder. Thomas Sidney Cobb. Hannah Lauren Gant. Brittany Jean Cisak. Eugenie Kate Brignac. Savannah Rain Covarrubias. Anita L. Winger. Santika Deshay Doss. Kaija K. Weary. Jacqueline Marie Karcher. Kimber Nicole George. Candace Gamble. Mary Elizabeth Charnock. Deanna Nariel Campbell. Rachel Anna Marie Birchfield. Madeline McCausland Keys. Lauren Renee Porter. Megan Elizabeth Masters. Laken E. Camp. Jennifer Ottinger. Hannah Noel Patrick. Keely Ryan McKee. Darren Nicole Pierce. Ajane Anaya Buckley. Melody Kristen Boone. Ashley Renee Bowler. Joshua Seymour. Jesse Joseph Gruich. Hannah Lee Recheck. Destiny Lee Marks. Alexandria Ishel Elliott. Nikki Posey. Martha L. Rezabe. Harley Marlena Pounds. Allison Marie McDonald. Catherine Michelle Neal. Omisha Christiana Pruitt. Michaela Elise Andrews. India Janae Kelly. Jennifer Ann Bingham. Kathleen Fegan.
Aaron Michael Davenport. Julie Elizabeth Jackson. Amanda L. King. Abigail Louise Alford. Shanavia Kalaya Black. Hunter Keith Haynes. Brandon McCorkle. Haley Rose Helton. Lindsay Garrity Jones. Kirsten Grace Abbott. Madison Ann Tony. Brianne Talley. Haley Ridpath Latney. Cheska Cuevas. Catherine Ann Nowacki. William Wilhelmus Washington. Jennifer Corinne Everett. Elizabeth Marin Edwards. Danelle Ashley Williams. Madeline Langford. Sydney Alexis Simmons. Sarah Jane Van Schaik. Brooke Marie Bowman. Melanie A. Land. Destiny Michelle Newman. Craig Thomas. Craig Cardale Hughes Jr. Mary Chosen Caples. Ashley Nicole Perry. Lakeisha Shanae Kern. Raven Ashley Wade. Candace Brittany Williams. Jessica Floretta Skanes. Ashley Cameron. Samantha Brown. Veronica M. Howard. Andrika Janae Dido. Abigail Douglas. Brenna Malie Rossetti. Caitlin Gray. Ashley Marie Cote. Teresa Renee Edwards Reynolds. Cassidy Nicole Gatson. Rachel Diane Albritton. Ashley Nicole Holyfield. Aaliyah Charity Barnes. Susan Lee Morgan. Akia Tiara Washington. Carla J. Danner. Kayla Pettigrew. Amanda Michelle Mulder. Jamaica Nicole McSwain. Lauren Pamela Hill. The following students will receive the master's degree from the College of Nursing and Health Professions. Victoria Witherspoon. Derakesia D. Jackson. Larietta Reed. Dakota Labreno Wallace. Lorenzen Burton. Madison Bird. Elizabeth Franz. Kristen Chantel Bush. Mary Ashley Woodyard. Lauren Nicole Gidry. Alex Miranda Ray. Michaela Wand. Haley Brock. Molly Grace Jordan. McKenna Grace Dean. Megan Nadine Wack. Taylor C. Van Fleet. Anne Marie Sanders. Angelina Marie Lavecchio. Elizabeth Ashley Tosh. Erin Marlene Olson. Taylor D. Thomas. Riley Orell Foster. Catherine Roberts. Evie Jewel Hayes. Stephen Michael Calato. Jamie Renee Kercheval. Sarah Gail Van Court. Molly Rogers. Tia Elise Jenkins. US Oluwafakalimi Odiji. Elizabeth K. Ozan.
Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates. This ceremony brings to conclusion for many of you years of coursework, research, dissertation writing, capstone projects, and other professional certification training. The process to get to this point has been rigorous. It has required a tremendous level of determination, a tremendous level of persistence and grit, and a sheer will to finish all of your degree requirements. And each of you have done just that. Like your families and your friends, the University of Southern Mississippi is proud of your accomplishments. And we know that as you depart from this institution, you will find your way all around the world and carry with you more than 112 years of university history and tradition. As president of the University of Southern Mississippi, I could not be more honored to know that our institution's reputation is in excellent hands with each of you. I extend to each of you all of my very best as you embark on the next chapter of what is sure to be a great adventure. Congratulations to each of you and best wishes. Before I close tonight's ceremony, I would like to recognize a key member of the platform party, Dr. Stephen R. Mosier, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Mosier, would you please stand and remain standing? In fact, just take a couple of steps forward if you don't mind. You'll know why I'm ordering him around in just a second. As many of you know, Dr. Mosier will be retiring on June 30th, just a few short weeks away, after 32 years of service here at the University of Southern Mississippi. As provost, Dr. Mosier is responsible for leading the university's entire academic enterprise, from academic programs to faculty development to student success initiatives, and the list truly goes on and on. He has served in his current role as provost since 2015, but his leadership at the university spans his time as director of the Pride of Mississippi, his service as dean of the former College of Arts and Letters, and his rich scholarship and pedagogy and mentorship to generations of students as a professor of music specializing in instrumental conducting. Dr. Mosier, you will be truly missed, but your retirement is certainly well deserved. And so, on behalf of the University of Southern Mississippi, I wrapped it myself. Please accept this small token of appreciation for your service and commitment to our students, our faculty, our staff, to the university as a whole, to the greater Pine Belt and the Mississippi Gulf Coast communities, and to public higher education across the state of Mississippi, our country, and beyond. It is my hope that this handcrafted artisan glassware serves as a special memento of your time here at the University of Southern Mississippi. As we begin to close, I'd like to thank members of our faculty and staff for their dedication and service to the University of Southern Mississippi. I would also like to extend a special thanks to each individual and volunteer who worked countless hours to make this a very special occasion for our graduates and for their families. At this time, I will ask each of you to stand, if you're able to do so, for the performance of the university's alma mater, led again this evening by Ms. Danielle Roseanne Watson. Following her performance, please remain standing for the Platform Party's recessional. Again, thank you for joining us for this important celebration, and I want to thank each of you for being a part of the University of Southern Mississippi.